We'll just pray for 2 minutes and we'll continue with the presentations. Also, please get the blessings of your parents and pray to them if they are near you, even if they are not. Okay, so we'll start with the presentations now. The order of the presentations is supposed to be group number 1, then 12, then 3, then 8, and 13. From group number 1, Adarsh and Rasmita, that is roll number 1 and 32, will be presenting. So please start the presentation. Group number 1.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's visible, right?
Yeah, we are able to see. Yeah.
Okay. Can I start now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. We are Group 1, and today Adarsh and I will be presenting the weight estimation process for a Bristol prop trainer. This is our mission profile. So in this, we've included a mission profile with a parachute recovery system, which will be explained in detail later by Adarsh. And going to the calculations. So the range, baggage weight, and cruise velocity were given by Sir. The efficiency, specific fuel consumption, L by D max, A and C were taken from the book Thomas E. Clark, and the initial weight, crew weight, and endurance was assumed by us. Initial weight of 1300 kg, crew weight of 150 kg, and endurance of 40 minutes, that is 2400 seconds. So for the start and takeoff, we took it directly from the Thomas C. Clark. We assumed a ratio of 0.972. For the climb, we got it as a crew velocity was given. We calculated the mark, and from the graph, we got it around 0.997. And for the cruise, we used the Breguet range equation, and using the specified terms and everything, we got our weight ratio. We've also calculated the aspect ratio, which was found to be around 3.496. And the loiter from the endurance equation, so we got around 0.999. And landing again from the Thomas C. Clark book directly. So we calculated our final weight ratio and the empty weight ratio using the formula which was given in the textbook again. So we got the WMT to be 844 from the empty weight ratio formula, and the available to be around 965. So taking the surplus and subtracting it from the weight that we assume, we got the final weight ratio as 1178.13 kg. So this is the first iteration that we showed you. The iterations that come later along with the parachute will be explained by Adarsh.
Thank you, Rashmita. Good morning, all. So I'll be just explaining about this parachute recovery system. So we just referred to the Cirrus aircraft parachute system. So that is being widely used by almost all Cirrus planes as well as Cessna. So there are four. The parachute recovery system can be used in these four types of problems. First is loss of control, an engine failure not over a runway, and pilot incapacitation and mirror collisions. So what we have actually assumed is we have just taken the case of engine failure not over a runway. So this is what our consideration we are taking this. The rest three we are neglecting because we have just referred the NTSB, National Transport Safety Board database, as well as AOPA. It's a non-profitable American organization. So what their report and their database suggests is that mid-air collisions and loss of control and pilot incapacitation is the chances of happening all these things is very less. So we are not considering these three things. And loss of control, even if we are actually our crew members are a pilot and a student pilot and a trainer. So if the pilot is making some mistake and that is he's making either the engine to go into stall, so he can make sure that the trainer can make sure that the aircraft doesn't go doesn't enter into loss of control. So we are assuming that. So hence we are just taking the case of engine failure not over a runway. So next slide. So we are assuming that the aircraft fails at 800 kilometers. So, and we are just calculating the weight fraction, that is 0.999, and this is also 0.99. So because of this, the range is very less, our weight fraction comes to be 0.99. And this is, since there is, since what we exactly, it should be 1, W5 prime and W4 prime should be 1. But we are not considering the 1, and that is an ideal case where exactly the engine completely stops. But we are assuming that the engine is rotating, I mean the shaft, the propeller is rotating, but with very less RPM, and that is also a case of engine failure. And hence we are calculating this total W5 prime by W1, that is using that same formula of finding the individual fractions and multiplying it. And we are calculating this W5 prime of that respective weight, and then the same calculations which Rasmita explained a bit earlier. And we finally get this takeoff weight, and this is as we did for an earlier case. This is also the first iteration. So next slide. So this is the regular mission profile. So the final takeoff weight comes around 974.42 kgs, and the number of iterations is almost 10. So it got converged, and the convergence criteria what we use is that surplus weight should be less than or equal to 0.01 times of the takeoff weight. That is the condition we used. And this is the mission profile with the parachute recovery system. So the number of iterations is 12, and the final takeoff weight is 864.01 kg. So this is our final results, and yeah, and I think that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Any questions?
questions.
I have a question that is in parachute recovery. Why is final takeoff weight less?
Yeah, it's because parachute recovery. Can you just go to the mission profile?
Yes, one second.
Yeah, so parachute recovery system, if you see, after cruising a range of around 800 kilometers, so there is no phase of loiter and landing. So that weight fraction is not here. So hence our this takeoff weight is coming.
Yeah,
less
there's no
compared.
fuel consumed on the loiter or the
Okay.
landing, so
Okay.
that is accounted
That is
for.
the reason why we agree. Takeoff.
Thank you.
Any other
Any other-
questions?
We'll just wait for a second if sir has any questions.
Yeah, all right.
Sir is asking what is cruise Mach number and aspect ratio.
So the cruise Mach number is 0.214 and the aspect ratio is 3.496. Here we mentioned it.
I just have a question. Can I ask?
Yeah.
Can you go to that endurance thing, loiter equation?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here the V, are you using the same cruise velocity? Yeah.
No. For
No,
loiter,
no.
we assumed velocity to be lesser than the cruise velocity. So we just assumed a value which is lesser than cruise,
Okay.
around 35 meters per second.
Okay.
So exactly, if you need to find the loiter velocity, we should be first
given.
finding the stall velocity. For that
Yes.
start velocity, we should find the wing loading, and that will be the next part of this exercise. So after that, we'll be just making the changes here.
Yeah.
So
By
there is
stall
a
velocity, so you mean when this parachute recovery system is deployed, so it begins to stall? Or is
no,
it
no,
like-
no, no, no.
It
Actually,
will be
what is
around like 1.2 times the stall velocity.
Yes.
The loiter.
the lighter velocity? So that is being specified by the Federal Aviation FAA regulations. So
Yes.
we'll be using that relation, and we'll be finding the lighter velocity. So that will be the next part of our project.
And another doubt is you said the range is 800 kilometer, like in the parachute recovery thing. So is it that it fails after 800 kilometer, or after failing it has to cover more 800 kilometers?
No, it is failing at 800 kilometers.
Yeah. It has traveled 800 kilometers with the fuel. That's what we assume.
Okay, so in the brigading,
After that, it's failed.
800 kilometers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Rasmita and Adarsh sir's concern was that he asked cruise Mach number and aspect ratio, and after you said,
Yeah.
he said the aspect ratio for this type is very less. The aspect
Much
ratio is very
lesser
less for this type.
Okay, much lesser than 3.5.
No. The value of your aspect ratio is less.
Okay, what we
It
got.
should be around. It should be higher. It should be around 6.
Oh, okay.
So what actually, sir, just explain what actually we did. We just assumed this value of M by D max, which is given in the book, tabular
Yeah.
column. We just from that we just calculated the aspect ratio. I think that is might be the reason why we are getting this aspect ratio. Maybe if we assume the value of CD naught and
Maybe we can change the CD naught value and then
we can calculate
drive
this.
it.
Yeah.
The different thing. Yeah. We assume your CD naught to be around 0.015. So we'll try to change that value and compensate for that, sir.
Okay, no, sir is saying no. Assume AR as 6 directly.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Fine.
sir.
Fine, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, sir is having some confusion in the class chat and the normal chat, so he's telling me directly. So for today, I'm sir's voice, in sir's words.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, he's still typing. 1 second.
Okay.
He has another question.
Yes.
He asks, do you consider parachute weight as payload weight or empty weight?
Actually, we did not consider the parachute. I think we included it in the empty weight because we didn't take a separated for it. I guess. Right? I mean, yeah, like we didn't take a separate weight because payload we only took the crew and the baggage weight. So we are including it in the empty weight only.
Shouldn't it be non-expendable payload?
Sir says consider it as a non-expendable payload weight.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. That's all. Good presentation.
Okay.
Much appreciated. Now, please, the next group be ready. It's group number 12. I believe Rajashri is presenting.
Oh, Raghu, I'm presenting.
Sorry, Raghu.
Wait a minute.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, 2930 roll number
I'll share
confusion.
my screen.
Yeah.
Is the slide visible?
Yeah, it's visible. Please put it in the presentation mode. Yeah, presentation mode. Go on.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. 1% over here. and we are Group 12, and our aircraft is a strategic bomber. And today I am going to present about the weight estimation. So the specifications given to us were these. The payload was 50,000 kilogram and max speed 1,000 kilometer per hour. The range was given as 7,000 kilogram and service ceiling 20,000. And stealth is an important criteria for us. So we did a change in this, and we took the range as 10,000 kilometer, and which will be useful in any other similar missions and for long range too. So, and the engine which we took was F1Y G100. It is a turbofan engine, and we are using 4 engines for our aircraft. And the crew was about 2 members, a pilot and a mission commander. The L/D ratio we assumed was 22. So this is our mission profile. And initially, Sir said about taking off from Kolkata to Beijing, and we took Hasimara as the airbase, which is near to Kolkata, north and West Bengal. And initially, the aircraft is taking off from Hasimara and it climbs to a particular altitude. And after cruise, it reaches the bombing phase in loiter. And after that, it returns to the same base in Hasimara. The distance was about 3,000 kilometer, and if any other mission changes, the 10,000 kilometer range will be very useful for that. So the weight estimation, and the initial payload given to us was 50,000 kilogram, and since 2-member crew, we assumed the weight as 164 kilogram. And after calculation, we got the fuel fraction as 0.3437, and empty weight fraction for the iteration we took this equation. And the individual fractions were these. For warm up and takeoff, it came up to be this, and we take these values from the literature survey and the historical data. And for cruise, we used the brigade range equation, and loiter we used the brigade endurance equation. And the fuel fraction we got is this, and we use these 2 tables for reference of the L/D ratio and the weight fraction. We use both this graph, and as well as we went through some historical data for our aircraft, which to get the L/D ratio, which is 22. And this is the final iteration we did. We initially assumed the weight as 160,000 kilogram, and after the iteration, we got the result as 68,414 kilogram. And the MTUs we got was 27,618, and the weight of fuel was 25,000. These are some of the references which we did. Thank you, sir. Any questions?
I have a question, Raghu.
Yeah.
Can you go to the mission profile?
Yes.
So in this bombing phase, that is 4 to 5, are you bombing at the same cruise altitude, or are you climbing, or are you descending down?
Yeah, during the bombing, it's the same altitude. After that, we do a small climb in the cruise.
Okay. So, like, are you subtracting the weights of this bomb, because you are dropping the bombs, right? So, are you accounting for that loss?
Yeah, we need to subtract it, after bombing.
Okay.
Actually, we descend in bombing after the climb. We descend in bombing during the loiter phase to look into the bases, the enemy bases.
So, is the major amount of fuel consumed during this bombing phase?
Yeah, it's similar. It consumes a lot of fuel during bombing phase, since we take a lot of time in the surveying of the enemy base.
Okay. Okay.
But not this. This is not major, but it consumes a ample amount of fuel.
Okay.
If you take that will come under loiter only, right? Not bombing.
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
If you said there'll be a lot of time fuel consumed during 4 to 5, right?
Yeah, 4 to 5.
So you're taking that as loiter.
Yeah, loiter and the bombers, the loiter phase is, the bombing comes under the loiter phase. The
Okay, so
we
the
do
bombing itself won't consume fuel, any fuel, right?
bombing itself, yeah, the loiter consumes fuel. We bombing itself is not
As
not
in
consumed.
the moment you drop the bomb.
Yeah, as in the moment, yeah, right. It won't consume it.
Any other questions from the class? We can have 3 questions per presentation from the class, and sir will ask the questions too. Okay, sir says no need to increase range to 10,000 kilometer. Keep it as 7,000 kilometer.
Yeah, okay, fine. We'll do that.
Okay. Or he also adds show weight reduction during bombing explicitly in calculations.
Yeah, now as for now, we didn't do much, but we'll do in the report after. Yeah, we'll look into that. Okay, sir.
Oh.
Raghu, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this cruise and return cruise, like, why are the weight fractions changing? Have you assumed a different L by D and V for the second cruise, that is return cruise?
For return cruise, the same LPD we assume, but the specific fuel consumption, I think we vary. Higher
Oh,
LBD.
C value is changing.
Yeah, LBD actually we changed in the LBD in the return cruise. Actually, we cruise at a high LBD for with maximum speed after returning. After the bombing, we need to return very fast, so we assume the high LBD.
Oh, so you are changing V also.
Yeah, we also we changing.
Okay. And is the range same R?
Yeah, R is same. Same. The distance between the airbase for of us and the enemy group, enemy territory.
Okay, okay.
Okay, sir compliments you both and says good question from Sanjay and good answer too. And sir has another query.
Yeah.
Loiter during bombing can be kept to minimum, not more than 5 minutes, or you can even neglect it.
So yes, actually we took as 20 minutes if, because we need to survey the enemy base for quite amount of time. So okay, is 5 minutes enough, sir? Is 5 minutes okay?
Just give him a second, he's typing. He says you also make yourself a good target if you loiter longer.
Yeah, okay. So the loiter time can be increased, right?
No, he's suggesting that if you're making yourself a good target if you loiter longer. So a shorter loiter would be
Yeah,
better.
okay. Okay, fine. So
Okay, he says good. We can move on to the next presentation. So group 3 is going to present next, and roll number 19, Supranai, will be presenting.
thank you.
No, wait, 1 second. Sir
Yeah.
has something to say. Break time. We have a break
What?
time now. Break time.
Okay.
There's a short break now. Sir, nobody is sharing anything, sir, as of now. Okay, somebody share something. Somebody volunteer. Sharing some experiences, what you're doing in your daily life, something other than academics. As in this course. Please somebody volunteer, or I'll have to pick up somebody to say something. Okay, so I believe Giridhar hasn't shared anything. Giridhar, please share something with us. Giridhar, are you there? Okay. Girdhar is not there. So he's absent. Girdhar is absent. Yeah. Uh okay, Krishna, you haven't shared anything too. Are you there?
I have shared actually.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, somebody else, please volunteer. It's too hard picking. Aishwarya, have you?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Give me a minute. I'll think of something.
Okay. Aishwarya, you there?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. How's Shrishti going?
It's good. It's going good. We are actually in a break right now since the first
Okay.
year are having the exams.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. We'll soon have to get back to it.
Okay.
Things fine.
So it's going good.
Yeah.
Any upcoming events, any insights, any peekaboos?
We're actually planning something big.
Okay.
We'll be announcing something very soon. Other than that, nothing has been happening.
Okay. Please tell us what Shrishti is, how it works.
Yeah, of course. So Srishti is the literary club of Amrita, and it has 11 wings, covering almost all aspects of literary stuff that's there, like starting from debating, quizzing, and drama, all of it. So if any of you are interested, any of you are, always welcome to join us.
Okay, that's good. Good. Thank you for inviting us. We'll be there.
Sure, thank you.
We'll bring
Also,
Sir along.
yeah, sorry, what?
We'll bring Sir along.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Sir says thanks, I'll consider.
All right. Also, I really think you're doing a good job today, mediating.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Sir, break time's over, or we go on asking and torturing Aishwarya a little more? But then we can only go for one presentation because 10 minutes are left to 9:40. Yes, one is enough. We'll go with one more presentation. So group 3, roll number 19, Supranay will be presenting.
Yes, just a minute. Let me share the PPT.
Sure.
Is the presentation visible?
I think it's still loading. It's a black screen now, but it'll load. Okay, so Vignesh is
Presenting.
sharing. Okay, okay. So you are presenting and Vignesh is sharing.
Yes, yes, right. Let me know once it's visible.
Yeah, it's visible now.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Group 3, and my teammates are Aditya, Suprana, as you can see, Sanvita, and Vignesh. So, we'll be presenting today about the weight estimation of commercial jetliners. Next. So these are the initial specifications given to us. Our flight is from Bhopal to Sydney, for which the range is around 10,053 kilometers. And our journey time is supposed to be less than 10 hours. And our capacity is 300 passengers. So this is our mission profile: takeoff, acceleration, cruise, loiter, and landing. And for the initial weight estimation, we took the aircraft from the literature survey and plotted two graphs, one between MTOW and range and another between MTOW and cruise speed. So in this case, since our range is 10,053 kilometers, we see that the aircraft MTOW is around 3, and in the graph between MTOW and cruise speed, we see that our speed was around 857 knots. So this MTOW lies between 2.5 to 3.5. So from these two graphs, we assume the initial weight range between 2.5 to 3 and did multiple iterations. So these are our parameters. Our maximum Mach number is 0.88 and cruise altitude is 40,000 kilometers, and L by D max 14.4. These values we took from the book mentioned, and we allotted 40 minutes for the endurance. And this is how we split the payload. We took the 300 passengers and assumed 80 kgs average weight plus 35 kgs baggage weight for each person and crew, which we overall, and 15,000 kgs cargo for the revenue. Overall, we got the payload to be 58,000 and we assumed it to be 60,000 approximately. And we performed multiple iterations, as I said, by taking the range of assumed weight to be between 2.5 to 3. And at 2.4, we got a stable value for the MTOW, which is 2,13,752 kgs with payload of 60,000. That's it. Any questions?
Yes, Supranay, I have a question.
Yes, sure.
The C, right? TSFC. So you're using I per second. What is this I? Is it I or
Liter per second.
liter?
Yes.
Oh, are you
It's
I
L
think
actually.
okay. Okay, are you using turbojet engines or?
Turbofan engines. That's what usually all the cruising
Turbofan engines. Yeah, okay.
jetliners use. So we're going with turbofans.
Okay, okay.
And that's actually 40,000 feet. Just a slip of tongue. She said 40,000 kilometers. It's
Yeah,
40,000
sorry.
feet. No,
40,000.
no, it's okay.
Okay.
We'll wait. Meanwhile, sir asks some questions. If the class has any questions until then, we can go with that.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so only the presenter should be answering. So apologies from my side. Only Supranai will answer from now.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't see that I was muted. I was actually answering.
Okay, sorry. So sir asked, how is the payload calculated for this aircraft?
Our capacity is given to be 300 passengers. So we assumed 80 kgs average weight and 35 kgs baggage for each person, and we multiplied it with 300, and we assumed 10 members of crew, and 15,000 kgs of weight we allotted for the cargo for the sake of revenue. For overall, we got 58,000 kgs, and we approximated it to around 60,000 kgs during the iterations.
Sir asks, in your iterations, why does payload change with the iteration?
Um, we kept on since it is around 58,000 to 60,000. We slightly kept on varying the payload to get a stabilized value for the MTOW.
Sir says no, you have to keep the payload constant. Cannot change. Throughout the iterations, the payload has to be same.
We have actually performed multiple iterations with constant payload and varying MTOW also. But I mentioned those. I haven't mentioned those here. I mentioned the ones where we varied only payload also here. We have done both the iterations, sir, actually.
Also take range as 10,500 kilometers.
Okay, sir. Yes, sure.
Varying payload will come later during trade studies.
Okay, sir.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you guys going for absolute ceiling?
Sorry, can you come again?
You are using maximum Mach number and cruise Mach number is same. Aren't you going to reduce your cruise Mach number a little bit compared to maximum Mach number which you can achieve?
No, we are assuming the same Mach number for the cruise and yeah, for the maximum Mach number and cruise Mach number, we are assuming the same because we accelerate to a particular height and almost will be constant in the passenger flights.
Because usually aircrafts have maximum Mach number higher than cruise Mach number. That's why I'm asking.
In the commercial jetliners, we found it to be almost same as the maximum Mach number in our literature survey.
Kevin, that's it?
Yes.
Okay. So Kyuki, sir wants to say a few things. The literature from where we took the graph should be cited properly.
Okay, yes, sir.
And the cruise Mach number should be less than the maximum Mach number, at least slightly less.
Okay, sir, yes. We'll consider that.
Okay,
And
that's it.
sir,
Yeah.
okay, can I mention something?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, the graphs which we showed in the PPT, we didn't take it from any book. We actually made these graphs by collecting the information of different aircrafts, and we plotted the graphs between MTOW and range. That's why we haven't mentioned the reference.
Okay, sir says then you have to mention the various references from which you took the data.
Okay, sir.
And then explicitly say that you plotted the graph.
Okay, sir. Yes. Oh.
That is, you have to mention that it is your own work, that being the graph is your own work, but we have to mention where we have taken the data from.
Yes, sir. Sure. Yes, sir.
Okay, if that is it, then yes, sir, the recording
Can I
was done by Sanjay.
question, Sandita?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Suprani, I'm a bit not clear about this iteration. So this GMTOW, is it this gross takeoff weight? Is it the assumed takeoff weight for each
Yeah.
iteration?
Yes, it's the assumed takeoff weight
Okay.
initially.
So yeah, so this 2 lakh, you're saying it converges to this 2,40,000 weight, right? So when 2,40,000 is your assumed weight, you're getting the final weight is 21,000 something. So I mean,
Like 13,000.
shouldn't this be same GMTOW and MTOW? Only then the difference would be zero, right? Now here you see like the difference is around 30,000 kgs. What? So that's not a small difference, right? I meant, should you perform more iterations?
Um, Actually, in the last case where I highlighted, we performed 7 iterations and the value got stabilized. All the digits did not change except the decimal values. So
Okay.
that's why we ended up considering that
Okay.
value.
So I thought for like you should again consider this 21,372 as assumed weight and perform more iterations to converge.
Yes, yes. We considered that and performed 7 iterations in the last case, and it did not change anymore except the decimal values. The value got stabilized.
Okay. Okay.
So it got converged to margin of around 0.1 kg.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Sir says that it should be clear that the convergence was achieved, and it is not clear here.
Okay, sir. I'll consider that.
Also, sir, actually the GMTOW is the guessed MTOW. It's not the gross MTOW. There was a confusion there. Supranya actually mentioned during the presentation.
Presentation, yes. It's
Okay.
guess everyone.
Okay, show a few more iterations, says sir.
Okay, yes, sir.
Shall I end the meeting? Sir asks if everything is done. All okay.
Yes, we can discuss.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
And
thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you all for your
Thank you.
presentations. All presentations were appreciated by sir. Good
Thank
day.
you, sir.
Bye-bye.